All right, I'm live. It's later Saturday. This is today's Scraps of Joy. Uh, I had some breakfast. I moved the camera a little bit. So hopefully I can have it closer to me. I don't know. Now it wants to, let's see. Yep. Okay. So I just need, okay. I think, I think it's okay because we're not working on this side of the page. All right. So when we went to all those yard sales last weekend, a guy gave us a box to put some things in it. It had these stamps on it, so I thought we might use that. Um, this is a little bit of that one. Where's the page? It's part of the leftover of this page, so I thought that might be fun to use. And we are on, I think, day 36. I think that's where we're at. I may add some tabs today since I said it yesterday. It's been on my mind. I'd like to use this little lady here with her pineapple drink and maybe some of this music paper. Let's just give it all rough edges and see how it works out. Okay. The only thing that I feel obligated to use is the rest of this hand because, that was kind of my plan all along. So I'm going to ink the hand. Well, I'll wait to ink. Let's figure out what we're doing for background. So I want to tear the top of this picture off because we don't necessarily need all that blank space. And I think I'm going to just give it a little bit of a rough edge over here as well. Okay, so I think trying to get used to some. All right, that's comfortable for me, and I think it shows a good enough amount of. Okay. Or maybe down the side this way like that. Okay. Now obviously we're going to make this, no straight edges. That's how we roll around here. But we don't want to rip off too much because it's already, small strips. So, comparatively speaking. So I did have some scrambled eggs. I had a piece of toast. I had a little bit of country gravy on my eggs. Starting to feel a little tired. That I have things to do. I did cut those book pages down, the New York ones. And I'm working at trying to figure out how I want to make it work. I think I'm going to actually use them on the bigger book with the Tim Holtz cover, which still leaves me the conundrum of what am I going to do with that other. I think I want the edge of that to be under the music page. I like being able to see the whole piece of the music paper. And then maybe we'll just fill it in over here. It doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. Or maybe we won't use that piece. Do we want to? I feel like it is definitely thicker on this side because the way it peeled. Just trying to see if maybe I can peel away a little bit more. Thin this up. But I don't think I'm going to be able. Well, maybe. Or maybe not. so that. Oh, I don't want to rip that stamp though, because I like that one. I've already ripped it, but see what we can salvage. There we go. I've got most of the backing off, and we can, yeah. And then we'll give it a rough edge. Okay. I think I'm actually gonna tear them apart and do something like this, you know? Something maybe. Well, we'll see. Now what else are we gonna put on here? Oh, and look, I got a little bit of corrugated cardboard too. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but there it is. It's the back. It's the backing. That's how thick that was. That's the stamps were on. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to put on here? Sorry. Okay, so what about this? I'm kind of working from the message on the other page. This is part of one of those New York pages. It's a little skyscraper here and a little ugly orange car. I actually don't like that white right there. Let's see if we can take that off. I'll take that there. It's just there's just a gap where the sky is, but it's a harsh line and I don't like it. Okay, so this is Where Shall We Go? And then this kind of has a tropical theme. So maybe we want to add a little New York City to this, you know? And oh, obviously we got to match up the bracelet. So getting a little. Okay. Let's see. She's probably going to go right there. So we need something there. What do we need? Da, 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 da. If we need anything else off that page. Okay, so we'll put that aside. Let's grab the Scraps of Joy bucket over here and see what I can see. Let's just set it right over here. What do I want to put on here? Do I have stuff I want to do? Let's see. I have some sticky labels. Elle's got some. It was part of one of the bags she got. Probably don't need that much. I'm just sticking it to the side of the basket here. It's not going to stay, but now I messed up. Okay, so let's nail down the parts of this that we know about. And then we've got this little, it says special delivery for. Probably going to put that with the stamps. So I may not be done with that basket though, so let's just set it aside. Let's get a little bit of inking done. The part that I'm pretty sure about what I like that's going on. Okay, so we liked it like that. Ugh. Goodness gracious. Can't believe how fast already May. It's getting hot. Can't believe how fast the year is going by. It doesn't help that I was sick. I was depressed, then I was sick. It's all the things together made this kind of an interesting year time-wise. Because I really feel like the harder I try, the more behind I'm getting. And I'm glad to be doing like a daily practice, but then I get the feeling sometimes that people are like, why are you doing this when you should be getting caught up with the dyeing? And it's not like I'm not, processing dye on a regular, paper and dye on an ongoing and regular basis, and ironing and all those things. It's just, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the spoons theory of, it's mostly used in conjunction with people with chronic illness or sometimes with fibromyalgia. It's the amount of energy you have for tasks in the day. So some days you get up and let's say you get 25 spoons a day. Normally 25 spoons get you, your shower, your breakfast, you go to work, you drive into work, or you take the bus, or all your human interactions for the day, your whole work day, coming home, making dinner, doing whatever you do in the evening, with spoons to spare, right? Well, when you have a chronic illness or you're depressed, you get limited spoons. So if you're having a low energy day, or like for people with fibro or anything like that, if you're having a flare up, people with migraines, similar, that limits the number of spoons, the number of activities you're going to be able to engage in that day based on your sensitivity and your energy level. And so you've got your 25 spoons, but so you wake up and you don't feel all that great. So maybe you start the day with, instead of 25 spoons, you start the day with 12 spoons. I probably didn't need to do the end right there, right? Okay, I think that's, and this, we've decided we're definitely using this. Not so sure about that other piece, so I'm going to leave it for right now. No, maybe I'll just ink it. That way it'll be inked for next time. And it takes you 2 spoons to get out of bed, go to the bathroom, and you haven't even got dressed yet. So now you're down to 10 spoons. So you have kids or a spouse, and you interact with them for the morning, and that takes 2 spoons. I have 8 spoons, and all these things you need to do. If you have a traditional job, or like me, I dye paper. So normally 25 spoons. Woo! We got all the time in the world. We're gonna get, we're gonna process 4, 5, 6 racks. And there's 8 racks. So when you stack them up, each, I consider that once it's fully loaded and stacked, those 8, that's a rack. And I might be able to do that, up to 6 times a day, depending on the thickness of the paper, how big the pieces are, all that kind of stuff. And a vat of the dye, so each full batch consists of individual batches. So you might, depending on the color and the size of the amount of paper I want to produce, it could be between 3 and 5 or 6 of the individual batches. So in one of the tubs that makes up, 1/3 or 1/5 of the full run, there's between 5 and 8 racks, depending on what kind of paper there is in there. So that typically takes 1 to 3 days to do. But if I have low spoons, I might only change it twice in one day, or I may only get to it one time. And that's really what was happening in around the holidays and at the beginning of the year. Now I am processing faster now, but I'm still behind. And then I got COVID, and that, as Els, has testified as well, really sucked the air out of, the room, so to speak. It has not been good for overall productivity. And so, I have things I need to get done. I have the Patreon, and there's supposed to be stuff going on there for them, and I'm just not getting there, and I feel worse and worse, and that feeds my depression, which, and it's not like anybody said anything mean to me. I've dealt with issues as they come up for people who, can't or, don't want to wait for me to work my way through this. And most people have been incredibly generous and kind about what has happened. And it's not like the people who didn't want to wait were mean. They just were, frank. And that is, I appreciate that. I don't want to nail this down yet, but I think I want to put her. So, but I internalize things. Oh, I kind of like that. So that's where that's going for sure. So I just want to mark some edges here. And that's mostly going to be covered up. So in addition to having the low spoons and the low energy from, the fallout from COVID, has had the long-lasting impact from that is just general tiredness, combined with, low anemia and having a super heavy period. And then, I start feeling bad about being behind, which feeds the depression. It all goes in this little circling the drain, miasma filled, hatred spiral, and it's a self-hatred spiral. So instead of just kind of, the right term isn't sucking it up, because depression doesn't work that way. And neither does just being in poor health, having had the COVID. And I hesitate to use the word long COVID because I haven't been diagnosed with anything by a doctor. I just feel like I haven't felt right since I had the COVID. I'm not sure where I want that yet. I don't know. Something kind of needs to go up there to round that out. And I think I maybe want it to be the stampy pieces. Oh, don't put the airplanes upside down. So I think I'm going to put those like that. So let's just go ahead and ink those up. Or not ink, but glue those up. So I find myself here in May still working on the end of January and February stuff. And, that's not where I want. That's not where people need me to be. And so I sat down with Els and talked to them, and I just had a frank discussion with her. We don't always see eye to eye on stuff, but I want to be a productive member. As long as I live here, I want to contribute and, help with the groceries and all that kind of stuff. Okay. That let's just pull that. I don't want to cover up half the airplane. There we go. I think now I need a little more glue. So, and because I was tired and depressed, I spent a lot more time in my room than I might otherwise, which doesn't make me very, when you live with people, you talk to them every day. And I haven't been, I'm better about it now that it's later in the year. And I've kind of taken some steps and gotten a little bit of help. It's right there on the fold and it's just not sticking down. And I don't want it to be creating bulk when I close the book. There we go. And let's get you to stick down. Now let's just run the scissors over that because my fingers are dirty. They have green dye on them and glue boogers from earlier. And so we just kind of had a frank discussion about where things are. Because, my brain immediately goes to, I'm not going to have a place to live. And and people are going to hate me. And I think I want that to end right there. And so it was good to just, and she made some suggestions. So I have some things that I'll contact people about towards the end of the month. So that we can, because what's going to happen is if we don't condense this and truncate it in some way, maybe filling some of the orders, contacting people, hey, look, maybe, here's where it's coming out at. If we want to have fall colors in a timely fashion, there's just no way I can do February, March, April, and May colors before we need to start. June starts the fall colors, because we're trying to be ahead of the game, but I'm slipping further behind the game. So I'm wondering if maybe there's a way we can fill the gap with products I already have, papers that I already have. I kind of dismantled a bunch of the paper packs, but I'm going to pull together what I have and maybe see if we can put the gap, I have all of November stuff, all of December stuff for the people that are owed that. I have half of January. I am working on the second half of January, and like I said, I am scaling way back. I'm mostly going to die just for the Patreon packs and a little bit for the store, like probably enough sheets to do like 5 to 7 24-pound paper packs in a combo of 25s and 10s. A little bit of newsprint because a lot of people in my Etsy shop love the newsprint. It's oddly enough, it's become one of my bigger sellers. And a few small things like that. So that we can get through those colors faster. But maybe also just totally get caught up. And when June 1st rolls around, we can start working on June colors. You can get June colors by the end of June. I would really, really love to get there with you guys. I would like, for a lot of you, it's, you're in the Patreon, but you're not at a level where you would automatically receive the packs. And that's probably a boon right now. But you're also not being able to request paper packs because I haven't got anything new to show you. Now I'm at a point where I can, I'm working on ironing things and putting them in bags. And there's going to be just a huge mass mailing a couple times this month where I send out most of what has already been dyed and processed. And, it's just at the end stages of all of that. And then I'm not going to do any more pre-selling all of this year. And through halfway next year, I'm really going to focus on, okay, I like that. Now I don't feel like there's a big gap. So I think we can put the hand down and we can work on the other half of this page. So I'm not always saying, well, it's almost ready. It's almost ready. It's almost ready. Or I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Because that's got to be frustrating for you guys too. Not necessarily people who just come, and I hate the word just, I'm sorry, I just said that. Who come into the streams to it's not necessarily about the paper. Some of you may buy the paper, some of you may not. You're here for the collaging and stuff. And I appreciate Patreons who maybe are doing the 3 or the 5 level, or up to the 10 level where you get a happy mail each month, because it puts money in my pocket, so to speak, for helping buy in the monthly supplies and dye and paper and stuff like that. And it gives me the freedom to come on more often without having to worry about always being quote unquote on with making money, because that's no fun. I don't like to go to a live stream where it's always you watch them make the stuff for their sale and they're always talking about their sale and they're always pushing you to buy stuff out of their shop. Sure, I'd love to have, multiple sales a day in my Etsy shop and all that, but I don't think I'm going to get it out of my YouTube channel exclusively, That is an unfair expectation of myself. And I would never ever expect that. So, but I do definitely want to get to a place where, that might look good up here next to the stamps, right? Okay. I've got a really good balance between the paper portion of my channel, business, livelihood kind of thing, and the journal building and the fun stuff, the challenges, so I can participate in more challenges. So I can focus on jelly plating, and because it's hard to justify spending 5 hours on a live or 10 hours during a day doing jelly plating, which I can use for glue books and other things, when I have paper to iron and I'm so far behind. So I get in this kind of place where I feel like I'm stuck in a blob of Jello, and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running and I'm not getting anywhere. But the Jello's jiggling away, so it looks like you're busy, but nothing's really happening, if that makes sense. So if somebody is a Patreon and you are owed things, or you are a former Patreon and you are owed things, please know that I truly am working on it. I am doing my very best to right the situation. And again, nobody's been mean, rude, or anything like that, and they may well at this point have a right to be, because I don't know that I would be so generous in spirit and all of that if the shoe were on the other foot and I were owed something from somebody for this long and they just kept saying, I'm getting there, but I've been sick. And, after a while, you might start to wonder how much of that's bullshit, Is any of it bullshit? Let's see. Your future. This one says your future looks bright. And it's from Panda Express. And it's pre-advertisement on the back, so it's a normal fortune. I think maybe, I don't want to cover up that little orange car because I'm kind of digging it. It's an ugly little car, but it's orange. So we're gonna put this on here somewhere, maybe like that. I don't want to cover up her pineapple drink either, so maybe over here. We'll test it there for right now. Okay, so we've got this special delivery thing. I think I'm going to peel up this finger and just slide it right under. But you know what? I need a little more glue. So in all that rambling, I hope that made sense. And you guys don't have to comment or anything. You have all voiced very kind, opinions about this when I brought it up previously. But that doesn't change how I feel. You know what I mean? That I could just be, I'm going to cover up one of these rings. I'm just going to do it. And then we're going to glue her finger back down, but we need more glue. Glue stat. And because I was, focusing on being behind and all that, I wasn't enjoying the things I was doing. I wouldn't journal daily in my writing journal. I wouldn't do a collage, or because I was behind and I should be ironing, but I don't really have the energy for it. But I probably had the energy to just sit and write things out and make a plan. And I just just spiraled and spiraled until you just curled up in a corner somewhere or in the bed, because that kind of thinking saps your energy and makes you exhausted, not necessarily in a physical way, but in an emotional way. And I know there are a lot of people out there who don't have experience with depression. They're like, well, just get over yourself already. I get it. But that's not how depression works, unfortunately. Because, you look normal, you sound normal. You look like you're fully capable of all the things. Because you're a responsible adult after all, right? I'm just going to go ahead and stick this down because I really like it there now. Now that I said it there, I like it. But I want it to be below her pineapple drink, There we go. Little smudges everywhere because of my hands. So yeah. So if you're a Patreon or a former Patreon, be looking to hear. I meant to use that in that other collage, didn't I? And then I didn't. Maybe we'll slide it in here or towards this way where it could be on the edge, but not covering up that stuff. So we need something down here. What do we want? Let's see. I think I feel like I've kind of exhausted the bucket. Let's try the envelope. Let's see about if we can get the envelope over here. The Scraps of Joy envelope. There's a lot of stuff in here now. I hate to drag all of this out just for a little thing, right? Let's see. Got blueberries and tickets. And I've got all kinds of stuff in here for my personal journal too. Well, maybe this, because we talked about it getting warmer. Maybe that. Let's try that. One of those rainbow pops. I think this is the last one. Okay. So we've got plenty of stuff down here. And then we put okay, so I'm gonna glue this down, then the city, and then the pop. I think we might be done after that. I just did that again. Oh my God. And you were a witness. I just tried to ink that with the lid. So yeah, I feel like I needed to say that. You can always listen to these without sound if you don't want to hear my ramblings. You are more than welcome to do that, of course. I generally try to keep it positive and upbeat because that's kind of the whole point of this series, right? That's all about joy and what brings you happiness. Okay. So this piece, and then the city, and then the rainbow pop. Yeah, so hopefully I haven't alienated you guys, That's never the goal either. Sometimes what I'm really saying is I feel like a shitty human being. Not all the time, though. At least there's that. It's not like... Some kind of alarm is going off out there. Sounds like a stove alarm, maybe? Like maybe somebody's baking something or cooking something. You know what? I bet it's Mike Stromboli. They went to Winco. I didn't go because the car's full when they take the grandkids with them. And that's what the weekend's about, is them getting to spend time with their grandkids. So I didn't go this time. And usually when they go, though, Mike treats himself to a Stromboli. He really likes those. We like to joke that it's as big as his head. They are very big. That is not an exaggeration. They are quite large. Okay, I feel like I want to get my scissors to smush that down a little better. We don't want smudges on our rainbow pop, right? That would be weird. Okay, now we need little words. We need some words, wordy words. I've got an envelope full of words around here somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out what we did with it. Are they back here? Did I stick them back here? What color was it? I don't remember. It's yellow. It's a Lolo. Okay. So here we go. Let's pull out a handful of words and see how we're feeling about it. Whoa. Oh, I like the word possibilities. That's definitely talking to me. Let's put that over here. Okay. Why wish upon a star? Easiest. Power, that goes in a different bucket altogether. New take. Prefer. There's extraordinary. Let's see. Mix and match means hello me. Now what? Challenge accepted. That might be good. Embarrassing. Oh, I am so easily embarrassed. It's not even funny. When I was younger, if I got really embarrassed about something, like somebody's rude to me in a store, or I made a very, I don't know, I just wouldn't go back to the store, I've mellowed some, but yeah, oh, I do. Process it. Vision, maybe vision? I don't know. Tradition. Impulse. Adventures. Strange artifacts. Redefined. Do it yourself. Zero. Redo. Something awesome. My babbleometer might be out of babbles. Disrupting. Ooh, harvest. We might want to save that for the creepy words. Rewrite. Playing with fire. Explore could be a thing. Finds. We need to talk. Nobody wants to hear that. Effortless. You can't beat it with a stick. Oh, I would argue that you can, but it's probably not a good idea. So, and I do try to be like, I'm not telling people I have depression and I get depressed because I want a bunch of sympathy or for people to feel sorry for me. It's because it's so stigmatized. And I want people to be able to talk about it if they need to. And to know that, it does. It affects my life, but I still keep trying to go on. And I encourage the same for other people as much as they are able. Your happy place. Ooh, that might be good. But hopefully it's just, it lets you know you're not crazy. Yes, I am. There's a smaller adventures. That you're not alone in this. That however alone you feel, all you have to do is reach out if you need to. I'm here. Els is here. Probably almost anybody in our community, in our little group, in our little crafty tribe would be there for you if you needed a shoulder to cry on or an ear to vent into. I feel like an idiot sometimes. Okay, I think we've probably got enough to work with. So let's pile those back in here. I'm not going to put them away in the envelope yet. I'll save that for after. Because it always looks like a giant struggle bus issue. Okay, I need to get a little drink though. I'll get parched. Okay, I'm really feeling your happy place. That's talking to me right now. You know, I want to be held accountable. I do. And I want to get to a quote unquote normal place, you know, where the business is running the way it should, and there's room if there's a bad week, you know. But it really kind of all started early last fall, around September. Well, even before that, probably. You know, when COVID was going on, it was really hard to get dye. I buy most of my dye, all three types that I use, from the supplier. So I buy my Rit dye from Rit. I buy my Tulip dye from Tulip. And a couple of the places didn't ship anymore to not commercial businesses. You're happy. So maybe your happy place is an island, or it's a boho comfy room, or it's your bling and things that, you know, expressing your personality through the way you dress, and you know, how you interact with people. Maybe it's a pineapple drink. Maybe it's a rainbow pop. Maybe it's travel or getting things in the mail that aren't bills. Or just the idea that your future looks bright and Panda Express says so. So I think I want to put this here, but I think I'm going to cut your into a separate. So we're going to do happy place. I think don't cover the car, Amy. Stop trying to cover the car. Your happy place. So we're going to put your right there, your happy place. And then I think we're just going to add this Adventures and Explore. And maybe challenge accepted if we can make it work. So I hope all that made sense. Sometimes I get off on a thing. I'll be talking and then I'll immediately, you know, then I talk about something I'm doing in this moment. And then I don't get back to whatever I was talking about. I think I completed most of my thoughts. But I think you kind of get the idea. So, and I want to have fun with you guys. I want to come on and go live and not feel guilty that I should be spending that time doing something else. Because you guys are so encouraging. You make me feel good about things that I sometimes think maybe are not the wisest uses of my time. And I finally found, you know, my crafty mojo again. I got my juju back. Okay. I think I might want to put that right down in here. Do I? Maybe just right down into the corner, even though I'm covering up some of those little happy sunflowers. Let's even out Adventures because it's really crooked. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. So happy early Mother's Day to all you mothers out there and people who fill mothering roles. Or you're an actual mother of human children, or you care for animals and you're their human, their mommy or their daddy. Whatever way you nurture others. Happy Mother's Day. Elle's is going to be having trivia, and I will try to be there. Sunday morning is kind of hit or miss for me. And I think I'm going to put explore right over here. So I think that's where we're at. Ta-da! Let's ink up some edges and finish this sucker up. There's a bottle of water right in the way. Uh-oh, puppy got in trouble. Puppy in trouble. Doesn't sound like Ginger. I don't hear the jingle, 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 jingle. It's hard to tell, though. The door is closed. Okay. All right. Oh, I did. I read the 6th Stephanie Plum book. Oh my God. She's just, they keep getting more and more outrageous. I love the incident with the hors d'oeuvres. I'm not going to say any more about it. Okay. And then this one is the last one, which probably doesn't necessarily need it because it's black, but there might be some white edges on here that if you looked at it sideways or whatever. Let's be thorough. So I have book 7. It'll be a little while before I can order book 8. Okay, yeah. Explorer's going to go over here. Your happy place. All right. Let's glue some stuff down. Okay. Let's get this over here. I think I'm going to use glue stick for this part. Uh-oh. I just threw adventure all over the floor. But I saw where it fell, so we're safe. For once, I saw it go into the void. Usually by the time I get down there to look, it's just in the void. Okay, so challenge accepted. We are into our future looking bright. We are exploring opportunities. We're figuring out stuff about our happy place. Okay. Mike must be in the garage. I can hear Ginger doing her. Daddy's outside and I'm not out there. Or maybe he's out doing something with the boys out there. Ginger cannot stand the idea that he is near, but on the other side of that door. And her and Ozzy have a morning kerfluffle over who gets to guard the daddy door once Elsa's is up and Oz is out of his cage, or not his cage, but his crate for the night. He wants to lay there, and she wants to lay there, and she's very territorial. She'll nip and growl, and Oz is a big chicken, and he lets her get away with it, which is probably good because she wouldn't want to have two dogs actually fighting every morning. That would suck. But then he just pads around, all anxious because the daddy's not awake yet, but he's awake and the daddy should be awake, even though Mike probably only just went to bed recently, Okay, so that is let's get the extra schmutz and glue burgers off there. There's today's. So it kind of plays with this, even though we didn't make them on the same day. And everything's a little crooked, but that's okay. The words are always a little crooked for me. So we're going to put the date. I think we're going to squeeze it right in up top here. I think I said, what did I say we're on? I think it's day 36. Day 35. So this is day 36, which this is Saturday, but it will be airing on Sunday early in the morning. So day 36. And let's get the month right. It is 5/7. Yes, 5/7. Yes. 2022. There we go. So we are all ready to move on to the next thing. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages plus the ones at the beginning and end of the book. These ones and those ones, which I think are going to have, I think at the front I said song lyrics probably, or a nice quote out of Ransom Words or Letters. I think we had a Hootie and a Blowfish thing planned over here. Otherwise, we'll just put a nice big image in there that we just like. And in the back, I try and put something, like at the end of my personal journal, it's just a big thing that says, "What a Wild Ride." So try and find something like that to end each journal. Maybe I just did a giant "the end" here. And I'm not sure what I want to put here, but the last couple pages I try and do generally, something special to round out the book. So not too many days left to go. We'll be starting a new book before the end of the month. I got to get that tiered one done so that something just fell off. I hope it was a scrap. So we can do some mixed media scraps of joy. All right, that's it. We're done. The end. That took an hour because I babbled and rambled and stuff. However you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. Until I see you in one of my lives or in a box somewhere, I wish you the happiest of crafting. Bye, 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 bye. The end. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses to anybody who wants them. The end.